It's the end.
And off we go from Las Vegas. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14. The Raiders offense heading out with their new man under center for 2023, the former Patriot, former 49er, Jimmy Garoppolo.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to...
And right away, he lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block.
Oh, that is going to be a safety.
All right, partner, deuce is wild on this sequence. 2 plays, 2 sacks, and now 2 points thanks to the safety. Offensively, there just didn't seem to be much of a plan when they came out on attack. That let the defense create a little chaos up front and set up one of their guys to make a play and get through and record the sack.
So here are the new-look Packers set to go to work. And at the helm here in 2023, a lot of eyes on this man in his 4th NFL season, Jordan Love.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
And we'll get this up just shy of the 30. A check on the numbers for Kenyon Drake last week. 9 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
And that's just not enough carries for a running back to get loose and really feel like he's into the game, because they have to have enough volume to establish a rhythm, not just for themselves, but also to get in sync with their offensive line so they can read the blocks properly and they can execute them. I expect them to get a minimum of 15 carries in this game, and the optimum number would be 20+.
Love's throw brought in by Watson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On first down, Drake. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The Packers at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they come in off a disappointment last time out. That put an end to their modest 3-game win streak.
And it always hurts when you lose a tight game, as they did a week ago. I think each player starts thinking to himself, if I could have played better one play here, one play there, Maybe it could have changed this team's fortunes, but it absolutely illustrates how important it is to play a complete game if you want to win in the NFL.
A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting the tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's second and a couple. Counter play, Drake. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
First down, going to the air with Love. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Now it's second and 10. Love looking to throw it. Completed out left to Dobbs. Touchdown! Romeo Dobbs, his third touchdown now on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Carlson's extra point up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They trail now 9-0. The opening safety followed by the touchdown a moment ago. So an early hole to dig out of as the drive starts 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw, it's Garoppolo. A dump off for Abdullah. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Here we go. Second down and 3. On play action, now Garoppolo. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. You look at this Packers defense. This crew against the pass, issues at times. Ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh, yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. So, Charles, this defense in for a tough matchup. What do you think the game plan is here tonight?
Well, I think the game plan is the same as most, which is, hey, pass rushers, do your job. Coverage guys, do your job. And the linebackers are going to be a mix. Sometimes they'll drop in coverage. Sometimes they'll pressure the quarterback. But all in all, you never want to let that quarterback get a string of completions going. Because if so, they're hard to deal with, and it makes for a long evening.
The numbers for Abdullah on the ground last week. 14 carries, 61 yards.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked with him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early, but it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
On second down, it's Drake. 7 yards there and a first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
This is 2nd and 8.
Drill 52.
Throwing. Love. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver there, Kenyon Drake, but now it'll be 3rd down. You look at this Raiders defense. They're a unit that enters play way down, number 28 in the NFL right now against the run.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First down, Love to pass. That's caught by the rookie, Jaden Reed. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Ready, break.
After one, it's 9-0. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter.
Let's go now.
Here now, 2nd and 4. As they've got it as we resume action. Now a run up the middle with Drake. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one little play and get my defense off the field.
On 3rd and short, Drake. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. 49 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long.
Shot 17.
They just do get the playoff. Love going to throw it. Finds his receiver, Watson. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's a 2nd and 5. To throw now. Here's Love. Complete once again to Watson. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And 3rd and 8 now. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Love. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down. And his kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They start the drive with Abdullah. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. It's caught here by Adams. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. He can really smell 800 catches right now because that last one puts him at 799, knocking on the door. Now Garoppolo. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt.
Sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Up the middle they go with Drake. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 60 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Love now. On the out route, Dobbs brings it in. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
On 1st and goal, Drake. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
2nd down, Love. And it's a Packers touchdown. Jaden Reed from 3 yards out as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Carlson's extra point up and good, and that will make this a 19-point game. Carlson back out there now to send this one away. Now Abdullah, the return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Here we go, here we go.
Las Vegas, first down. First and 10.
A give up the gut to Abdullah. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken in at the 22. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books. But it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Ready.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Play action this time with Love. A short throw to Musgrave. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not?
Watch out now.
Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's Love. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. On first down, Garoppolo. That's caught by Myers. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Garoppolo on first down. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. And it took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And this will be taken at the 13. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, you hate that defensively. They had him pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get called every time.
Flush to his right. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the third quarter. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Packer offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. Loving the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21.
Ready, ready.
He starts by handing this off to Drake. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 76 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's second down.
A 7-yard gain.
Ready.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
From the gun, it's Drake. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
On the double.
We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Off the play fake, Love. He hits Dobbs on the crosser. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Jordan Love ready on first down here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Drake. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up second down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
That's taken in by Watson. It'll be a gain of 5, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Christian Watson. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and
Ready, set.
A handoff out of the pistol. It's Drake. And he's going to have a Packers first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Got it. Yellow. White. Ready?
Love. And this goes out wide for Drake. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball. And
he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Carlson's extra point up and good, and that will bump the lead up to 26. So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the 2nd half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Garoppolo. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Love, they go play action now. On the move to his left. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Black shot. Light blue.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing. Love. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
Going back to Love. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Romeo Doubs with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Packers extend their lead yet again. Carlson's extra point up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. Now Abdullah, the return, taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Garoppolo's throw pulled in by Renfro. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
After a 100-catch, 1,000-yard season 2021, Renfro's follow-up season was a major disappointment. Injuries and offensive changes kept him to just 330 yards, so hopefully the fan favorite can return to Pro Bowl form and be the type of chain mover he was on that grab.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, Abdullah. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And, look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the 3rd quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle 3rd of the field, and that brings up 4th. Here's A.J. Cole now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. This will be fielded at the 17. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A good return there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody.
2nd and 9.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Buying time to his left. Left sideline, a dive, and it looks like he's got it. 22 yards there, a first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Clifford now on 2nd down. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10.
At their own 20-yard line. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
This is screen to Abdullah. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1.
That is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here we go.
Now Garoppolo, got to have this one.
He's got his target. That's
complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He had to absorb another little bump there from the defense, another incomplete pass. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
They've come after him all night long. Nothing but pressure in his face. He's trying to stand up there and make throws. It's hard enough to do when the pocket is clear. When you got all those people in front of you, almost impossible to have a good completion percentage.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve.
Here we go.
They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Lucas Van Ness getting free there to bring him down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Going up top. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Dillon now on 1st and 10. He's got it to the 43 here. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed and being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Max Crosby, his 2nd sack of the night. On now is the Packers punter as he's on to kick it away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here we go.
The offense on third down tonight, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Looking deep for Adams. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
Automatic first down. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. His throw incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
9 yards, and that leaves them just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Garoppolo. A quick throw there is incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, but after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded at about the 28. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand. Clifford setting up play action. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Clifford. Short throw, he's got Kraft. And he'll get 2 or 3 out of that one, as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it 2nd down. There's a quick throw caught out wide. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 14. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Up the middle they run. Here's Dillon. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Carlson on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was A.J. Dillon who capped it off with a touchdown run. Carlson back out there now to send this one away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
As they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter.
Here we go, here we go.
2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Packers pick it up, and they'll stop him at the 1-yard line, but small consolation there following the turnover.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now Carlson for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled. He goes underneath to Abdullah. So no gain on the play, and it's second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game film from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. And taken right at the 35. Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, you realize that both sides